Have you ever walked into a room and noticed a younger woman's gaze lingering just a moment longer than usual? Or maybe someone complimented your voice, your energy, your presence, without even mentioning your looks? My friend, what if I told you you're more attractive now than you were at 25, and you don't even realize it yet? Part 1. The hidden power of maturity. When we talk about attraction in men, society often glorifies youth, tight skin, gym bodies, Instagram perfect lives. But what they don't tell you is this. Real attraction, deep, magnetic, lasting attraction, comes from something far rarer than abs or hairlines. It comes from depth. As an older man, you've walked through fire, maybe divorce, maybe business losses, maybe health scares, or the slow silence of kids moving out, and yet you're still standing. Not bitter, just quieter, stronger. That's strength, that's power, and power is attractive. Sign #1. You radiate presence, not performance. You no longer enter a room needing to prove anything. You're not chasing applause. You're not flashing watches or flexing cars. You're just there, still, grounded, comfortable in your own bones. And this quiet presence, it draws people in, especially younger women, raised in a loud, distracted world. They're not used to stillness. They're not used to a man who listens more than he talks. There's something about him, they say. I feel safe, seen, heard. They can't quite explain it. But it's not your looks. It's not your bank account. It's your vibe. Story interlude. The gentleman in the coffee shop. I once met a 61-year-old man named Edward in a quiet cafe in Maine. He wore a simple coat, reading a book by Steinbeck. A woman in her 30s was watching him for over 20 minutes before she finally walked up and said, "You just seem like someone who's seen a lot of life." I don't know why, but that's incredibly attractive to me. He didn't flirt. He didn't chase. He just smiled and said, "When you stop running from life, life starts coming to you." And that, my friend, is magnetic. Sign #2. You speak from wisdom, not wounds. You've been through heartbreak, maybe even heartbreaks that shattered your soul, but you didn't let bitterness build walls. You let the pain soften your edges. You're not reactive anymore. You don't jump to conclusions. You don't text in all caps when someone takes too long to reply. You've grown past the noise. You found your voice. You now speak from experience, not ego. From growth, not grudges. And that emotional maturity, that self-regulation, that calm in the storm, it's incredibly rare. It's deeply attractive. And it makes people feel emotionally safe around you. Wisdom reflection. The candle metaphor. Think of a man in his 20s like a firecracker. Exciting, loud, fast, but gone in seconds. Now think of an older man like a candle. Warm, slow burning. He lights up the room, not with flash, but with consistency. Which one would you rather sit beside when the lights go out? Sign #3. You're not needy for validation. You've stopped chasing compliments like scraps of worth. When you wear a new shirt, you don't ask 5 people if it looks good. When you grow a beard, you don't beg for approval. When a woman doesn't reply, you don't spiral. Why? Because you've built something stronger than ego. You've built self-trust. You know what looks good on you because you know who you are. You know when someone's losing you, not because you're not enough, but because they weren't ready. This kind of inner stability is rare, and guess what? When you don't need the room to approve you, The whole room starts watching you. Part 2, the silent signals you never noticed. Signs 4 to 7. By now, you've probably realized something powerful. You were never not attractive, you just weren't looking in the right mirror. The world kept telling you that attraction lives in hairlines, abs, and speed. But time, experience, heartbreak, healing, they've shaped you into something far more rare. A man with substance, a man with gravity, a man women don't just want to flirt with, but feel safe surrendering to. Let's continue uncovering the silent signs that make you magnetic in ways younger men can't even imagine. Sign #4. You know how to make a woman feel understood. You're not jumping to fix every problem. You've learned that sometimes she doesn't want a solution. She wants space to feel. She wants presence, not pressure. And you've mastered the art of listening with your eyes, not just your ears. You're not afraid of her emotions. You don't call her crazy when she cries. You don't run when she's vulnerable. Because you've been through your own storms. You felt nights of loneliness, silent dinners, or long drives after a fight that left you hollow. And now, instead of judging her, you understand her. That emotional intelligence is not just attractive, it's healing. In a world where most men interrupt, you reflect. Where most men fix, you feel. And for a woman, especially a younger one navigating the chaos of modern dating, this is gold. Story moment, the dinner table breakdown. One of our subscribers, Mark from Oregon, shared this. I was out with a 29-year-old woman. Halfway through dinner, she started crying, not because of anything I said, but just overwhelmed with life. She looked up and apologized. I just smiled and said, "You don't have to be okay for me to stay." Her tears stopped instantly. She said no one had ever said that to her before. That's when I knew I wasn't just older, I was safer. And safety, my friend, is the sexiest thing a woman can feel around a man. Sign #5. You carry the aura of a man who has nothing to prove. You don't talk about your money. You don't flex your car. You don't name drop people you once met at a golf course. You let your energy do the talking. When someone interrupts you, you don't bark back. When someone disagrees, you don't defend your honor like a sword fight. You just smile because you know who you are. You've reached a stage of life where your worth isn't measured by followers, flexes, or fake approval. It's measured by peace. And peace is intoxicating. Especially to younger women raised in a culture of constant comparison, where everyone is screaming to be seen. You walk in calm, collected, and without saying a word, they feel your value. That's power, and it only comes with time. Sign #6. You've made peace with your past. You've stopped being ashamed of the years you wasted, the relationships you lost, the jobs you hated, or the moments you fell apart. You've accepted that scars are not signs of weakness, they're symbols of survival. And when you talk about your past, it's not from a place of regret, but revelation. You say things like, "Yeah, I messed that up, but I learned. I used to think that mattered until I lost it and realized I still had myself." And that kind of emotional transparency, it's rare. It's real. It's sexy. Because here's the truth. You can't deeply love someone if you secretly hate parts of yourself. But when you've made peace with your pain, you offer love from a healed place, not a hungry place. You don't need her to fix you. You just want to share your wholeness. That kind of love, it's medicine. Reflection. Your past is not your prison. Many men over 50 carry silent guilt. About kids they weren't there for. About women they hurt. About dreams they abandoned. But here's the truth. You're not too late. You're just on time for the next chapter. Every day, you wake up and decide to be better, you're more attractive than the day before. And any woman who sees that evolution, she doesn't see your age. She sees your soul. Sign #7. You give off the energy of legacy, not lust. There's a big difference between men who chase women and men who build a life women want to be part of. You've moved from conquest to connection, from pickup lines to purpose, from swiping to selecting. You're no longer trying to impress random women. You're building a life of peace, growth, and meaning, and inviting the right woman into it. That shift, it changes everything. Because younger women, especially the emotionally mature ones, aren't looking for boys to party with. They're looking for men to grow with. And when you walk with purpose, not just charm, you don't just attract attention, you attract loyalty. Story. The Builder and the Butterfly. There's an old story. A man spent years building a garden. He planted trees, tended soil, and designed a quiet bench in the corner. One day, a butterfly flew in and stayed. Not because he chased it, not because he lured it, but because the garden was ready. That, my friend, is you. You are not chasing anymore. You are becoming, and the right one will feel it and stay. Part 3, Real-World Wisdom. How to embody these signs. So now that we've uncovered all 7 powerful signs, let's take it one step deeper. Because being attractive as an older man isn't just about what you become. It's about how you show up every single day. In this final part, we're going to ground this energy into real actions, emotional tools, and connection-building wisdom. Think of this as your daily compass, so when the world gets loud again, you don't forget who you are. Bonus wisdom #1. Replace performance with presence. You don't need to be the loudest in the room. You don't need to crack the funniest jokes. And you definitely don't need to compete with younger men in charm or muscles. Because your power isn't in performing. Your power is in being. When you sit across from a woman, whether she's 35 or 55 and you're fully present, it's magnetic. No phone checking. No overthinking. No trying to impress. Just eye contact. Just listening. Just calm, masculine energy. This kind of presence tells her, I'm here, I see you. I'm not trying to escape this moment, I'm honoring it. That energy is rare, and it's unforgettable. Bonus wisdom #2. Slow down, you're not in a race anymore. You've lived fast. You've worked hard. You've chased enough. Now let your magnetism come from your unhurried energy. Whether you're texting her back, making dinner, or walking beside her in silence, let your pace reflect your confidence. Fast men impress. Slow men impact. Because when you move with calm assurance, you signal something no 25-year-old can. I've got nothing to prove, but everything to offer. Bonus wisdom #3. Elevate your environment. Let your space reflect your emotional richness. Your home should feel like peace. Your wardrobe should whisper intentionality. Your conversations should carry depth. Invest in your surroundings, not for status, but for soul-level comfort. A clean kitchen. A candle that smells like cedar wood. A playlist of old jazz and blues. A bookshelf that tells your story. This is the aura of a man who's lived and grown. And when she walks into that world, she doesn't just see a man, she sees a life worth stepping into. Bonus wisdom #4. Master the art of masculine vulnerability. Being vulnerable doesn't mean dumping your trauma. It means sharing from strength, not from wounds. For example, don't say, all my exes were crazy. Instead say, there were times I didn't know how to be present. I had to grow up emotionally. Do you feel the difference? That's the kind of vulnerability that makes a woman feel safe to open up to. Because now she knows you're not afraid to go deep. You're not scared of honesty. You're not emotionally numb. You're awake. You're aware. You're willing. And that's unbelievably attractive. Bonus wisdom #5. Live with quiet purpose. You don't need a 10-year plan. You don't need to hustle 12 hours a day. But you do need a sense of direction. Whether it's mentoring younger men, taking care of your health, writing that book, volunteering at the shelter. Let your life whisper, I am still becoming. Purpose is a flame that makes your eyes glow. It makes your posture firm. It makes your heart hopeful. And when a woman sees that, she sees a future, not just a fling. Real life tips for age gap relationships. Let's speak truthfully, man to man. Age gap relationships aren't just about attraction. They're about alignment. Here's what will help you build something real. Emotional leadership over control. Guide the relationship with wisdom, not dominance. She doesn't need a father. She needs a grounded partner. Stay curious about her world. Don't mock her music, slang, or generation. Ask questions. Be playful. Let her youth expand your life while your depth anchors hers. Embrace your age. Don't compete with hers and never say, I'm too old for you. Instead say, I've lived enough to know what matters. Let your confidence close the gap. Emotional close, the final shift. Let me speak to your soul for a moment. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. You are not past your prime. You are a man carved by storms, not ruined by them. You are a man whose silence speaks louder than shouting. You are a man that doesn't just chase women, he calls them home. If the world has made you doubt your value, if time has made you question your light, then let this video be a reminder. You are more attractive now than you've ever been because now you're finally whole. If this video gave you a new way to see yourself, don't walk away empty. Subscribe to Quiet Mind, Powerful Soul, and keep growing with men who are no longer chasing but becoming.